Hi there, WNYMBA. Unfortunately, the coronavirus has forced us to cancel our 2020 kickoff event at Tom's Pro Bike. We've been doing this event for quite a while now, so this is a rather unfortunate set of circumstances. But we have to kind of comply with the regulations that New York State and the CDC is putting forward. And I think our main concern is everybody's safety and well-being. So rather than having the event at Tom's Pro Bike, I decided to put together a quick slideshow that I was planning to present for the event anyway. And this is Jacob Bodway, the president of the Western New York Mountain Bicycling Association. So I just want to quickly thank everybody from Tom's Pro Bike, Tom and Val, for extending the invitation to have us have the meeting at Tom's Pro Bike. Again, it's a really great event, and we just unfortunately cannot have it this year. And this just really underscores, I think, the importance of supporting your local bike shops and local bike retailers, because they really are the backbone to the cycling community. They're the ones who are putting on these events. They're the ones who are putting on races. They're donating bikes to the club. Really, the Western New York bicycling community is really starting to come together and work on a common cause. And a lot of it is the result of the local bike shops and local bike businesses. So please support them in any way that you can. Okay, thanks. Just quickly to cover the officers for 2020. I'm the president. Hello. Jerry, the mayor, is our vice president. Missy, the Missile Melnick, is our secretary, and Joe Crumlish is our treasurer. Our advisory board for 2020 will be Tom Roaring, Sean Lewis, Greg Snow, Dee Dipple, and Tom Wright. Tom is a new addition this year, and we're happy to have him aboard. So the schedule of topics. This is going to be a 4-part video. I'm going to cover the highlight reel for 2019 in this video, and then I'll make a video for 2020 events, and then another one for races and trail work in 2020. And then our final video will actually be covering our website, which we just created this past few months. And I'll kind of do a walkthrough of the website so everybody gets familiar with what's going on with the website. So to begin with, let's look at the 2019 highlights. The biggest highlight of the year, obviously, was the opening of the Lakeside Bike Park in Memorial Day weekend. We worked with WNYMBA to design and implement the plan to get this open. We also worked with Pump Tracks USA to design the pump track. For those who have not been to Lakeside Bike Park, it is a beginner-friendly opportunity for younger riders to get on bikes, to get outside with their family, with their friends. It's not an advanced bike park by any means. The topography just doesn't allow that, but it is a really fun, cool addition to the Lakeside Park and also to the city of Buffalo. We are extremely proud of the work that we've done to promote this and to make this happen. This has been a monumental effort that took years of work by a select few WNYMBA volunteers, and our thanks goes out to all of them. We had some clinics in 2019, and we hope to expand the clinics, demos, and events in 2020. So keep your eyes open for those events. We'll be posting them on Facebook and on our website. Another addition this year in 2019 was Long Point State Park. This park is located in Chautauqua County, right on Chautauqua Lake. It is the result of some of the hard work of Chautauqua County volunteers, Merle Kinnell and Lonnie Clark. So thank you very much for your help. It's about 6 miles of trails out there, beginner-friendly single track. And some of the recent events out there have been the King and the Queen of the Point. We've had, that's a race series we had out there with loud performance. Also, we had a couple events out there, such as Global Fat Bike Day. It's a great addition to the Western New York trail system and the trail network. Really fun trails. They dry relatively quickly, which is fantastic. And again, they're beginner friendly, so you can get out there with your kids and rip around a little bit and have a good time. The next addition that we had in 2019, as you can tell, we had a really great year in 2019, is the Whalen State Forest Trail System, located just north of Panama, New York. I want to thank Frank Kopta for being the trail steward there, and for a group of volunteers who kind of put this trail system together over the last 5 or 6 years. And WNYMBA finally said, you know what, we want to get involved. We want to step in. We will help maintain these trails, help with trail days, help with maintenance, and also supply tools and other, WNYMBA help and assistance in any way that we can. This trail system is primarily single track. It's about 4 or 5 miles of single track off of the West Side Overland Trail System. If you're familiar with the West Side Overland Trail System, you might see where this trail kind of intersects in certain spots. We plan to extend this trail system and the riding opportunities on this trail system in the upcoming years. Unfortunately, there will be a tree harvest happening out here in this fall, so we're going to see how extensive the damage is and kind of assess where we can move from there. But we are thinking about really expanding this, the riding opportunities in Whalen State Forest. The drainage is pretty good, and we have the okay from the DEC to work and build additional trails in Whalen State Forest, in Harris Hills State Forest, and in Hatch Creek State Forest in Chautauqua County. So some really big things are happening in Chautauqua County right now, and we're really excited for the next 5 years to see what we can do down there. Also, we finished with the Stone Tower Trail at Allegheny State Park. I want to thank Trail Construction Associates for their work in helping build this trail system. Right now, we just finished phase 1, which is about 4 miles of new single track off the Stone Tower Road. We will be working on phase 2 this upcoming summer. More on that in a different video. We got the money for this through an RTP grant that we applied for 4 or 5 years ago, and the money finally came through, and we were able to build the trail with mostly the help of Trail Construction Associates. This trail system is beginner friendly. It has a couple little climbs, but overall there are very few challenging features that are going to be difficult for beginner riders. However, there are some really nice jumps, some cool features that keeps the spice kind of high, but at the same time we have go-arounds in all those spots. So it's a really nice flowy trail system with sweet berms, nice bench cutting. They did a fantastic job, and it's really kind of a highlight for our year. And our last new trail is Beavertown at Darien Lake State Park. Beavertown, it's named after the beaver lodges that are located alongside the trail. There's probably a dozen beaver lodges, so we came up with the name Beavertown. I want to thank Mike and George for their work in being the trail stewards here. It's a roughly 1 mile of trail. If you've been to Darien Lake State Park, the trails there are relatively beginner friendly. We're trying to get more younger people on the trails, more new riders on the trails, and Darien Lakes is a really great place for that to happen. However, there are some jumps on Beavertown. There are some boardwalks through the work of volunteers around the Darien Lake State Park area. We put in some really cool features that I think will challenge even the most advanced rider, but also we have those go-arounds for the beginner rider as well. So I want to thank everybody who's worked really hard to bring Darien Lake State Park up to speed, and this is a project that basically began 7 years ago, and it takes a long time for us to get through all the paperwork, just like every trail system. And once that's done, the volunteers that come out and help us out, pays dividends. We also want to highlight the partnerships we have with 42 North and Ellicottville Coffee Company. With 42 North, they brewed a session IPA called Day Trekker, and some of the proceeds from this beer went back to the club. They presented WNYMBA with a check of about $1,200, a little bit more than that. And all the money that we got through the proceeds from the Day Trekker sales are going directly back into Western New York Trails. And I believe that they're doing a second run of Day Trekker, and we hope to, get some of the proceeds from that as well. So if you're in 42 North, you see Day Trekker, please think about ordering a Day Trekker, because that beer is going back to Western New York Trails, and it's helping out the Western New York Mountain Bicycling Association. In addition, we just recently partnered with Ellicottville Coffee Company. They have Take the Black Trail coffee. It's a fair trade organic coffee that comes in these really nice zipped up bags. They're fantastic. They're airtight. Again, the proceeds from these sales go back to Western New York Trails. And you can purchase the coffee at Ellicottville Coffee Company at Adventure Bound, downtown Ellicottville, and at selected bike shops and businesses. So, if you see these at any WNYMBA event, please consider buying a bag of coffee, and you'll help support the trails that we plan to build in the next few years. We have a lot to do in the next few years. So the partnerships with these businesses have really paid off in a big way. Part of my goal as president, when I first became president 2 years ago, was to kind of reach out to community members and stakeholders in the business community and kind of, rebrand ourselves as a community organization. And the work we've done with 42 North and with the Ellicottville Coffee Company has really paid dividends, not only for them, but also for all of us. So thank you so much, 42 North and Ellicottville Coffee Company, for coming on board and really lending a hand. This past winter, we had some fat bike rides at Allegheny State Park. I want to thank Adele Wellman and Patrick Dove for helping put these rides together. The fat bike program at Allegheny State Park this past winter was the most successful and popular winter program at Allegheny State Park. Even more popular and successful than cross-country skiing programs and snowshoeing programs. So that says a lot about how mountain biking is kind of taking off throughout Western New York, and the fat bike scene is really taking off at Allegheny State Park. They are grooming single track on the new Stone Tower Trail in the wintertime with the Snow Dog grooming machine, and they also are renting out fat bikes for patrons to come and use. So this is a really great partnership that we've adopted with Allegheny State Park. We hope to have more off-road single track groomed trails in 2020. This would be part of the park's initiative to kind of push the fat biking programs at the park. This is a great partnership. Again, something that I really wanted to do as president is to reach out to stakeholders and state parks and just to really rebrand ourselves as a community organization. Okay, so this is a really great example of that. And the last slide I want to cover quickly is our expenditures in 2019. As you can see, we spent roughly almost $13,000 on trail work, which is including the boardwalks on Beavertown, the stone that we brought to Sprague Brook and Hunters, some of the bridges that we built at Sprague Brook. So a lot of that stuff is coming from not only the partnerships we have with 42 North and Ellicottville Coffee Company, but it's all coming from your membership dollars. Your membership dollars are helping us build a mountain bike culture within Western New York, helping us maintain and organize trail days. It's really benefiting the entire Western New York community. Okay, so you can see that we spend all the money that we basically can goes right back into the trails. We had to spend money for insurance, $1,800 just in insurance to cover our trail days and to cover the club. Tools was quite a bit as well, $2,000 in tools. Also promotional materials and things like that for the swap and other events. Okay, that's almost another $3,000. So we are using the money that we gain for promoting the club, but also in creating fun community events for Western New Yorkers. So please consider joining the club or making a donation, and that money will go directly back into our community to secure the Western New York Mountain Bicycling Association for years to come. So this is the end of the first video. Thank you so much, and I'll post the second video as soon as I can.